Since I started cooking over 12 years ago professionally, everything has led to this moment. Ready? This is my very first cookbook. Oh my God, look at the hair. When I was just 20 years old, I self-published my very first cookbook, Dude Food. That all came about because my mates wanted to know how to impress girls through food. And I had athletes who didn't know how to break down nutrition into a practical sense. Dude Food, a cooking insight into empowering the modern man by Churchill. I had been cooking at home at that point, nothing in the kitchen of a restaurant, but at least I had some time to understand the basic fundamentals of cooking. That self-published cookbook led me to some success in media. It started getting the ball rolling, some people knew about me, but the biggest thing I did was I learned about business when it comes to a product. I learned how to put a book together, I learned how to create the book itself by going to a printer, and then learning how to sell. Ultimately, that led to the opportunity for me to go on a couple of TV shows in Australia, one of which being MasterChef. And in that time, I learned more than most chefs would learn in 4 years and 6 months. I got to meet some of the best chefs in the world. I got to work in some of the best restaurants. I was put through tasks and skill sets that I just didn't think would ever happen. It was an incredible 6-month period. And that led me to then realizing the first cookbook was great, but I wanted to do something that's even more in line with my brand, which is around health and wellness. My next cookbook, The Healthy Cook, led me to really making a dent on my industry. I was fortunate that people found this one even more successful and more books were sold. Yes, it was also self-published. I actually made more money from this one. And I learned from the first mistakes of how much a book should cost me versus how much to sell. And then the second one, I made a bigger margin. So I learned from my first mistake. And it was much more successful both financially and also for brand. In turn, that got me noticed in America. So I got people realize they want to start talking to me about opportunities overseas. And I was like, absolutely. I signed a deal with a big publishing warehouse and decided to move over. Upon moving, I was really enjoying myself the first month. However, once the book was released, came out, I realized pretty quickly how far from home I was. You see, everything I did in Australia was to the Australian community. People knew me, my community. I was talked about as if, everyone knew who I was. Over here, no one knew me. And this was when social media was just starting out and people didn't realize a number didn't tell all the story. Yes, you can have a decent following, but if the whole following's in Australia, there's nothing to do with America. It's gonna change the game for you. So ultimately, the book flopped. I was cut from my book deal and I was alone. I didn't have many friends at that point, so I didn't have a community to rely upon emotionally, physically, or mentally. And I felt like I didn't make the wrong decision, but it was one of the most challenging, if not the most challenging moments in my life. I had a decision to make. Do I come home to the nest egg of Australia, where the beaches and the sunshine are always apparent and everyone knows who I am, to continue my life doing what I'm doing, but in Australia? Or do I dig my heels in? And again, this is actually quite an easy decision. No matter what, Australia was always gonna be there. And as hard as it was, I didn't have any money, I was struggling financially, I knew that I wanted to make an impact. And you can't do that from Australia. It's just not, you can, but not on the scale that I wanted to. So I decided to stay. I got out of my lease, I jumped on a couple of couches and moved around, and eventually realized that quickly if I was to do a couple of cooking events, do some small little iteration work, I was able to support myself financially to then build my personal brand up to what I wanted. When I first landed here, this was my first apartment. However, it wasn't my first bed. See, I stayed on a couch here. Pretty nice, like when you think about it, you're in Tribeca. Everyone's like, you live in Tribeca? I'm like, well, yeah, I guess so. I was on a couch. And what was really funny was I used to get picked up by Good Morning America in a massive limousine here, off my couch, get into this car, get to GMA and have you'd have a green room, you'd have security guards, be looked after. And then you do your segment, it's one of the craziest, 5 minutes of your life. Get back through all that, into your limousine, they drop you off here, and then I'm back to my couch. Complete opposite to what everyone thinks is going on. It was such a great time in my life here in the city. Grateful to be here. It just made me even hungrier. It really did, it made me so hungry. I'm still so hungry. Over the course of a couple of years, I was able to start working with companies in a way that supported myself financially and started to pave a way for me in the space of a chef or someone in the space with performance in food. It also led me to a massive opportunity. I got together with some mates from Australia, and in 2018, we launched Charlie Street, my first New York City restaurant. Which was here on Kenmare, and I had it for 5 years. It was like 2 partners, and I had one of the most memorable moments of my life was having, this restaurant here in the heart of, No Leader in Greater Soho. Like, unbelievable experience. Huge learnings in restaurant life in New York City. Huge learnings in like myself, personally, what I can deal with. But also, I built such a thick skin here. And I think that's kind of like, I made so many mistakes. But I'm grateful for this place. I had so many things come out of it, knowing what I will never do again, even for myself. People made relationships out of here. There was community for me. It was a big tick in the box for my mental wellness. But I was like, big part of my startup of my personal brand was this place. People didn't know me for my social, they knew me for this restaurant. So I'm forever grateful for what that gave me. It also, I doubt to say this, but One Hotels wouldn't happen without Charlie Street. So anyway, always grateful. It was, at the time, it stood its purpose. It was there for its purpose. I'm grateful, and I'm also grateful I don't have it anymore, which means I'm continuing to soar into other areas. I just want to thank you guys if you did visit us for all the support you gave at Charlie Street, but also, we're on to the next thing. Woo! Ultimately, my social media platform started to grow. I hired more of my team, and we started to grow and work with more bigger brands. And then in that period of time, even more TV exposure happened, more opportunities.
Right now, we are turning to food, and helping us eat our way through the rainbow is chef, author, and all-around health guru, also our dear friend of the show. It's Dan Churchill.
Hey, guys. And all this to say, it's like continuing to build towards a goal, a North Star that you have for yourself, something that is bigger than you and more about impact than it is about what you want for yourself. And I don't know, maybe it's just a mindset thing, and you can see it also in the way that I push myself physically. I've done multiple marathons now, I've run ultras, I've done Ironmans, I continue to push myself physically every day. It's how I was born into this world, my brothers, my family, my passion for strength and conditioning as well as exercise. And you can see the same in the way that I want to work with my team and the way that I push our vision and what we have for this world. All this is to say that today is an incredible moment for us. One that has many layers, something that is built over the course of the 8+ years I have been here, being blacklisted from publishing to having a restaurant that was initially an opportunity for me turn away. All these problems, all these issues, all these failures had made a thicker skin and narrowed my focus towards what I needed to do. And so 2 years ago, I got a phone call that I will remember forever.
Hey Dan, just checking in. I got some really exciting news.
I'm so grateful for all of you. Because of you and my team and the hard work we put in, I've been given the opportunity to do the book that I wanted to do 8 years ago. The one that I've always seen as the one that can change the game, the one that can have the most impact. It is a book that brings together both my vision for what food truly should be. It takes away the idea of alienation and focuses on flavor, culture, and experience, whilst also tapping into performance. And that performance isn't just for athletes, it's for everybody. It's for people who are trying to live their best every single day for themselves. So I'm so proud to tell you that because of you and the hard work of my team, that my latest book, Eat Like a Legend, is now available pre-sale. Delicious, super easy recipes to perform at your peak. Yes, it is a cookbook, but it also contains plenty of front matter tips and everything around foods that help your recovery, including decisions around sleep, and how you can not only just, in order to eat like a legend, you have to be able to cook like one. So I've got plenty of tips on that too. Recipes themselves created for scenarios, not just breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But you're getting back from the gym, you have 12 minutes, so let's cook, and actually 12 minutes. I want to first say, yes, it is available for pre-sale, and we have a lofty goal of being a New York Times bestseller, not for me, but knowing that once it hits that list, the amount of impact we'll have with this cookbook is incredible. So if you want to help us, one of the best things you can do is pre-order. If you want to pre-order, hit the link down below. For those who pre-order, you have the chance to win a bunch of prizes, and all those opportunities will go once pre-sales stop. So if you want to get a chance to win pre-sales and also signed copy, make sure you click the link and pre-order. I just want to say, again, it is because of you these opportunities are happening, and putting the work in is what it's all about. If you have a dream, you have a vision, if you want to just continue to push doubters aside and do something for you, just go and do it. Trust your gut. So team, with that being said, this book is here for you. It's not for me, it's here to make impact. So if you want to eat like a legend, pick up the cookbook. I'm DC. Thank you, as always, for everything. I'll catch you in the next video. So sick. Wait. Oh man, it's here. We've talked about it. We said it. I'm doing a cookbook.